What's up, everyone? Welcome to Bacon is My Podcast.
Wow.
That's it. That's the intro.
That's the intro.
Right there. That is happening. We are now here.
You know
we were literally just talking about how we were going to do the intro, but she did it. She jumped in and she's there. So
wait, cue the music now.
Bacon! Bacon is my podcast! Bacon! Bacon is my... Bacon! Bacon is my podcast! Bacon! Bacon is my...
We have an actual music, but we might replace it with what you just did.
It's me. I just had a big bite of a big breast of chicken.
Can you show the audience,
Yes.
for those of you who are on the audio version, we implore you to go to the video version
on
strangerhood.com.
So you can see
strangerhoodtv.com.
strangerhoodtv.com. She is eating a piece of a chicken breast that is as big as her face.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't see her face.
Actually, this second one's bigger.
Oh my god.
Wow.
That's fantastic.
Jesus Christmas.
I feel like they only sauced one side of that. I just saw both sides.
So I feel like
okay,
so she's a part of this band called Rivals, and they're pretty great.
That's me.
But you just recently moved from LA to Nashville, which is one of my favorite towns freaking ever. How's the food over there?
Oh, wonderful. It's good. It's got its, it's a really okay. So I'm from LA, so I'm used to a very big city, with lots of not only different foods, but lots of different genres of food.
Mm-hmm.
So here, sorry, my brightness. Here, it's a lot harder to find those different like group. I like calling them genres of food.
No.
That's
fine.
Sense.
That's fine. So if
I love calling it that. It's hilarious.
You can't call it like Greekish. We're talking genres like Greekish, Chinese-ish.
Greekish.
Now, in the genres of food, is that like the genres of
I
music?
think it would still be called genres.
Like there's Greek food, but then there's like hard Greek
Fusion.
and then there's like
heavy Greek,
Greek fusion.
Yeah, there's
alternative Greek.
So actually, we were in Jersey. We were in Jersey.
I'm sorry.
At one point,
I'm so
and
sorry.
next to the venue was a pho burrito spot.
A what?
Oh, wow.
Yes.
That's a weird.
I had
mashup.
the same reaction. It was a pho burrito spot, so it was literally all the contents of pho minus the soup, obviously.
Right.
It wrapped in a tortilla, and it was phenomenal. Oh, I got another one. In Iowa, there is a restaurant across the street from the venue that sells Asian pizza.
I've had Asian pizza.
Yes,
so
like orange
so
chicken
good.
Pizza,
Yep.
General Tso's
pizza.
We didn't go there.
Beef and broccoli pizza. Amazing.
The only cool thing we did in Iowa, which is in the archives.
Corn.
No,
Well, a lot of corn there.
But we
Corn.
we actually we kidnapped our Uber driver.
We did kidnap our Uber driver for the entire night. We weren't even there on a tour. Like we weren't.
Yeah.
Our bands weren't touring at the time. Mike and I work AV for medical conferences, and we happened to be there for a weekend to do a medical conference. And we usually have like one night off, and so we like to take that night and just go see whatever, find a place to eat, find a band to see, all that kind of stuff.
Find like the venue, and I was like, dude, we're in Iowa. Slipknot. Let's try and find some metal shows.
Right.
And I found like the worst metal band ever.
Yeah.
That I could ever possibly find. And I was like, we're going to this. And he was like, really? And I said, yes, we are.
Was it?
And we showed up, and the first band that was on was actually really, really good. It wasn't a metal band. It was I don't know, it was kind of like indie, and the the singer, she had a teddy bear costume on,
Yeah, like a onesie.
Okay.
And they were really, really good. And then
I don't
the
know
rest,
why she had a onesie. It didn't make sense to the aesthetic of the band or anything like
No.
that. She just happened to be in a onesie. But
no, because the rest of the band was a bunch of
fantastic.
hipsters.
They were fantastic.
But they
Man
were
buns
great.
and a onesie.
Yeah. But yeah, after that it was
What was
awful.
the name of the band? Maybe the name of the band?
Oof, we didn't know.
Link to
Nothing
the
involving
band.
bears.
No, nothing
No,
involving bears
nothing
at
at
all.
all.
The bear onesie literally was a question mark. It was just kind of like, oh, riddle me this. Why am I in a bear?
Yeah. So wait, anyway,
I'm
long story
curious.
short, we were like, hey, this sucked because the metal bands here actually do suck. And well, some of them. But
The ones we saw.
the ones we saw, which were like 6
We were in
of
the
them.
wrong place.
We were in the wrong place. It was a cool venue though.
Yeah.
Really liked the venue. But he was like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm gonna show you a good time. And the first place he brought us was a place like way deep into like cornfields and stuff. And at which point we go in and it's people doing square dancing.
It was square dance lessons,
It was
in fact,
square dance lessons,
which is
So
cool,
It was cool.
fun.
right?
No, but it was
But it was
ending,
already like ending,
It was
so we
ending,
couldn't even
and it was
join.
on a jukebox. It wasn't. It was like on a ghetto blaster. Not even like on the PA or anything.
Yeah.
And the bartender, we go up to her and she's like, and I was like, oh, maybe I could go up to the jukebox. I'll throw some songs on. She's like, yeah, don't even bother. It's not gonna go on for another 2 hours. And we're like, oh, okay. She's like, what do you want to drink?
Just
Really,
angry.
really, yeah, super engaging.
No, she was like tatted up, like green hair and stuff. She was not happy to be there. And so we had our drink and we were like, all right, screw it. Let's just go to our hotel.
Well, so okay, I'm going to tag in here for a second because you're omitting a few important things, because he brought us to this place
Seattle
and
was no good.
he said I'm going to wait outside, and if it sucks, come back out and I'll bring you guys somewhere else. And we were like, oh, dude, thank you so much. So as we were going to go in, we were like, why don't you just come in with us?
Right. That's right.
And he was
You're
like,
right.
oh,
Yeah.
okay. So we brought him in with us, and we bought him a Red Bull and everything.
Yeah, he was like,
He was
like,
I'm
"Hey,
not
you want something
drinking.
to
And we
drink?"
were
He's
like,
no,
good.
no.
That's a good move.
Cool.
Please don't.
What do you want? You wanted no, it wasn't Red Bull,
Okay.
it was Rockstar.
Rocks. Okay. So we ended up
Oh, it's a
leaving that
puppy.
place, and there's a dog on screen right now for those of you that are just
We
listening,
have
which
surprise guests.
stops everything.
We
Who's
love
on
dogs.
screen right now?
His name is Roshi,
Roshi. Okay.
Roshi,
But,
like
what-
Master Roshi from Dragon Ball.
I was gonna say, where are we getting Roshi from? That's awesome. We have nerd names for our dogs too. My dog, I have a Frenchton, which is a French Bulldog Boston Terrier mix. His name is Bruce Wayne. Full name, Bruce Wayne.
Okay.
And my
Okay.
my boxer's name is Bane, who is a Batman villain who breaks Bruce Wayne's back.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
yes.
Our
We never met him.
oh my god, our Wi-Fi is Kame House.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like it. I like it.
Look at us go. Bunch of
Look at
nerds.
this. Look at this. We're
Yeah.
okay.
We
Hey,
do that's what we do.
that's what we're about.
All right. I'm sure you get it by now, but here at Bacon Is My Podcast, our dogs are our family too. And we love to give them a little something extra to look forward to every once in a while. That's why we subscribe to BarkBox. Bruce, Bane, and Bruno are all treated to 2 brand new durable toys every month, plus a unique pack of treats that keep them excited every single month. And we have a special offer for you, just for being a Bacon Is My Podcast consumer. Go to baconismypodcast.com right now, scroll to the sponsors, click on that BarkBox link, and you'll receive an extra toy in your first BarkBox. So head on over to baconismypodcast.com, click on that BarkBox link, and spoil your favorite 4-legged friend today.
Okay, so
You bought him a
Rockstar
Rockstar.
Energy Drinks.
we leave that place. He's going to take us to another place. He tells us his life story, how he came to the country, met his wife, got married, loves his life, moved to Iowa. And so he takes us to like the college area, and he's like, this is where people are going to be. And we're like, all right. And so we get there and we were like, why don't you come in with us? And he literally we were like, why don't you just, you know what? Why don't you just come hang out with us? While we're checking places out, why don't you come with us? So he comes into this bar with us that's definitely a college bar. So we get in the college bar and I'm immediately like, I just need to find whiskey right now. This is all I need. I have somewhat of an issue of being in and among in the middle of a crowd of a bunch of people. I can be in front of as many people as I can be in front of, and that doesn't bother me at all. But the minute I'm surrounded by people, I start to kind of lose my shit a little bit. And so I'm like, I need to like get to a wall or like find a place where I can like have my back against something. So I was like, hey, I'm going to hang down here. There were 2 levels. There were a bunch of people dancing on a dance floor. And then there was this like other area where there were people standing on this upper level, kind of above everything. And our driver was kind of like misty-eyed, willfully looking at that area, just with like a wanting in his eyes that Mike saw, and took it upon himself to be like, do you want to get up there? I'm going to get you up there.
So for me, I hate people. Lots
relatable.
of people, but in a show kind of atmosphere, shit, I could get to the front of a pit. So
yeah, I cannot.
I treated it as such, and I got him up there. And then there was this like one frat guy that was just like, yeah, I'm dancing between 2 girls and this is awesome. And I like, dude, come here. Can you let my buddy get up here? And he's like, nah, man, no. I was like, dude. He's going through a real tough time. I think he's going to have a divorce. He just had a kid.
Just totally.
Can you do me a favor? Just
doom this guy's future with karma.
One good night. And he's like, oh man, that sucks. I was like, yeah. He's like, yeah, man, I got it. So I take our Uber driver. I'm like, bro, get up there. I'll see you later. And I went right back down to him.
I look up and I see the Uber driver, and he's on this stand. He's in between 2 girls, and he's having literally the best time of his life.
Yeah.
And Mike came down, and I was like, this is why we went out tonight.
Yeah.
This is why.
It was a lot of fun.
That was the moment.
Right. And we left. He drops us off. And when we go to pay, he's like, no, I got you.
Oh.
He didn't charge us. He hung out with us for hours.
Yeah.
And drove us all over, charged us nothing. Beautiful man.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and we had the best time.
That's a good story.
It was a lot of fun. It was totally a lot of fun. But you've toured like, oh man, you guys are just a touring band, and you haven't done that for the past year.
Yeah, I'm in awe of how much you guys play, and I am also like interested in what that's been like for the past year.
Because you needed to like, hey, I need to be on the road for a little while.
Yeah, let me drive to a new place.
So, okay, the moving thing was like sort of unplanned. It was like July. And my boyfriend's speakers were still out here at his dad's house, and because we lived here a couple years ago, and we were like, oh well, let's drive out there, and we'll pick up your speakers and a couple of other things, and we'll come home. Well, we were out here, and we had been talking about buying a house for a while. Cody and I have been together for almost 5 years, so about 2 years ago, we were like, we should buy a house. That would be like a good idea. Like, we've been dating a long time, we should do it. And we were out here, and my mom came with us, and she was like, well, why don't we just go look at some spots? And I was like, okay, sure. So we go, and there's one up the street from here, and we go and look at it, and we're like, it's whatever. And we drive around the neighborhood, and we saw this house that I'm in right now. And we were like, well, okay. So then we called our realtor, and we're like, hey, we want to go see it. We're just curious. And we went and looked at like 40 other houses, and then we saw this one, and I was like, wow, I really like that house. And my mom was like, why don't you put an offer on it? Like, what's keeping you in LA? And I was like, that's a really good question. I don't know.
At this point?
Yeah, like, I mean, I got my band, and my dog right now. I got my band and some of my family's there, but a lot of my family's moved away. My dad's no longer in LA. My brother moved out of LA. My mom moved out of LA. She's in the desert now. And the only family, family is my sister and my niece and my nephew and stuff like that. And I was like, yeah, I mean, I guess you're right. There is not really a point in me staying here. So we put an offer on the house, and when we were walking through the house, Cody found a pic sitting on the countertop, and he read it. It said Maddie and Tay, and I was like, "Well, who lived here?" And my mom, being my mom, started talking to the neighbor here, and he spilled the beans. She's in Maddie and Tay. She was, I don't know if you know, they're like a big country, two girls, and she lived here. She built the house. One of them did. And I have found like Carrie Underwood stuff from when they toured with Carrie Underwood.
Man. That's awesome.
Yeah, like a ton of stuff. And so, yeah, we bought our house from another musician. And there was like multiple offers on the house when we like originally looked at it. And I sent her a letter just like, hey, we're also musicians. We tour full time. We'd love to buy your house and make it our home. And she accepted our offer. So then I was like, okay, well, I guess I just bought a fucking house.
Guess I got to move now.
Yeah. And then literally a month later, we moved to Nashville, and that was it. I literally came out here on a whim to pick up some speakers and some other things. And then we drove out here because we were bringing a load back. And then we were like, well, I guess we won't bring anything back. So we just drove back just to drive back. I ended up putting a month. I told my apartment, I was like, I'm moving out. And then that was that. I moved. Just like that, literally a month. Yeah, spontaneous decisions. That's my whole life.
Before we go any further, my wife wanted me to apologize to you because the last time we came to see you guys was in Brooklyn. So we actually came to see you guys at the Knitting Factory. So you were hanging out in the merch afterwards, and you were talking with my wife and I, and we were like, okay, I was saying, I was like, hey, let's just like hang out or whatever. And she was like, well, I'm like super duper hungry. And I was like, well, whatever you want to do. And she wanted me to apologize that we didn't hang out longer because she was super duper hangry.
My qualm with it is, why didn't you ask me to go get food? I'm hungry. I was kidding.
So there you go.
Listen, she's listening to it. She's listening to this episode, so she's gonna think about that herself. So the way I found you guys was because I saw you with red jumpsuit.
Yes.
A year or two before that.
Yeah.
My wife and I drove to Philly. We're from New York, but we drove to Philly to see them, and you gotta check out the opening acts. Of
course, yeah.
And
that's how I first one to get there, last one to leave.
Holy shit, these guys are great.
Thank you.
So then after that, she was like, oh well, we need to see when they come around again. And you guys were not just the opening act, but you guys were the opening act.
We were first.
You guys were like at 7 o'clock, and she was. We were both kind of stoked because it was like, sweet, these guys go on at 7. We can go get our eat on by like 8:30, and still have like a few drinks in us. And she was like, tell her I'm really sorry because I don't want to think that she thought I was a jerk because I was really hungry. And I said, I get it.
See, I think Jen owes her a dinner now.
Next time you come to New York, Jen owes you a dinner.
I'm down.
Okay.
I also didn't realize you guys were from New York, and I just had a whole rant about how amazing deep dish is. So
it's okay. We hate you secretly.
To be absolutely fair, I'm actually from Indiana, so I'm
She's weird too.
2 hours south of Chicago.
Cool. So I only offended one of you.
I'm super familiar. I prefer New York pizza at this stage of my game, but
okay.
But I will love
it. I don't hate casseroles.
I love
casseroles.
I enjoy cardboard pizza. Okay,
love it.
It's okay.
Reheated all day.
He's cardboard so pizza. Mad. Look at his face.
She's not wrong.
Interview over. Interview over.
She's not wrong.
Oh, you want to hear
okay,
oh, you guys? Okay, can I tell you my most embarrassing New York City story?
Please do. Please do.
Okay, this is the blondest moment of my life. Okay, so my friend and I went to New York. We were 18 or 19. This is before I ever toured, so it was my first time ever really going anywhere. Well, her uncle is like one of the biggest news anchors in New York. Well, he let us use his part-time condo, which is like on the Upper East Side, like literally the penthouse. It was like the craziest thing. And so she goes, hey, we're in New York. We should order some pizza. And I'm like, yeah, it's a great idea. And we had been drinking all day. And I was like, okay, sure. I'll order some pizza. Well, the pizza shows up and she answers the door to give the guy money. And she turns around and looks at me and goes, are you fucking kidding me? We're in New York City and you ordered Domino's.
Oh. What's wrong with you?
Epic fail.
I was like, what? I realized quickly, I was like, wow, I'm an idiot.
Wait, hold on.
I'm a moron.
You grew up in LA though, right?
I did grow up in LA.
And Domino's was still your choice?
I was young.
All right. Fair enough.
I mean, there is really.
I just want to formally apologize to all of our fans. I'm so sorry. Yeah.
All right.
I mean, listen. There's a time and a place for Domino's. It's like you gotta be super wasted. You gotta be,
dude.
Now living in Nashville, we don't have good pizza.
Right?
No, you don't.
So it's usually Domino's or Pizza Hut or something. Like if we get pizza, that's what we end up with. Because we've tried. One of the best rated pizza spots here was so god awful.
Yeah.
That
it's because everybody goes, oh, well, we came from New York. Oh, we came from Chicago and we brought some water with us. And it's like, shut up.
Right. Yeah.
No, you didn't.
Yeah.
Idiot.
Yeah.
You don't do that.
Embarrassing.
I brought a thermos from New York, which means I can make good dough. Like, shut your mouth.
Eat it. Go ahead and eat it.
A thermos.
Yeah. Fuck those.
Okay.
I can make a bagel because I have a thermos of New York water.
Yeah.
Shut up.
I literally don't even understand what that means, but I'm gonna say yes.
No. Okay, so there are people.
Is it like a gimmick?
Down south. Yeah. It totally is because people
never
say
heard that before.
People think that the New York
water.
water is what makes the dough so good, and which is why New York bagels are good, and which is why New York pizza's good, right? So they're like,
it's good because of the people that make it.
Exactly. But people are like, there's places throughout the country that make pizza or make bagels that like put on their ads like, we use New York water, we ship in New York water, and I'm just like, shut your face.
Like tap water?
I guess.
Maybe.
That's gross. No, little do they know, the secret to New York pizza is Aquafina. I'm just kidding.
Goddamn right. Goddamn right.
Yeah, spray water.
Wow. But I feel you though. Like I've because I grew up in the Midwest, right? I wasn't in a big city. So all I had, much like Nashville, was I had Pizza Hut, I had Domino's, I had a Little Caesars, and then I had like mall pizza, which was like an approximation of New York pizza.
Sbarro's.
What is that place called? Sbarro's?
Sbarro's.
Right, but it wasn't even Sbarro's. It wasn't even Sbarro's because we didn't.
You had a knockoff Sbarro's?
Dude, Indiana.
Is it?
How'd you have that? I had a Sbarro's and I live in New York.
Yeah, Indiana,
Man,
bro.
I gotta say, yeah, the Midwest is a crazy place.
It's a crazy place. It is.
It's
it
a
is
crazy
indeed.
Place.
But I will say, out of all of our 7 questions, people, your description of your perfect pizza is the only one that made me like go, I gotta order that. I want to order that like later.
Yeah.
I want to get that.
Like
you
now.
won't get that.
Yeah, exactly.
Our Uno pizzas are gone.
Yeah. I like that some of the places in Chicago that I used to go, you can actually order that. They'll freeze it and they'll ship it to you, and you can get it anywhere in the country.
I have heard that.
Yeah.
I have heard that. I love that this whole podcast has been about food.
Hey, we like to eat, and you're currently eating chicken as we started. So.
I love eating.
Yeah.
It's like a big thing for us on tours. Whenever we go anywhere, we're like, okay, well, what are the spots? Where do we need to go eat?
Do you have any go-tos that like you hit every time?
Yes, Austin, Texas. Right across the street from Come and Take It Live, there is a taco truck that is the best tacos I've ever had in my life, and I'm from LA.
What kind of tacos are they?
Yeah.
What kind?
So I'm really
preferred.
Micket and I both are really into El Pastor, and so like it is our goal in life to find the perfect El Pastor, and that place nails it. And whenever like any Mexican food spot puts pineapple or mango on their El Pastor, you've won me. That's it. I'm done. I'm done. You did it for me. That's it.
Nice.
So they're super good, and their salsas are like genuinely hot, and I love it. We always hit that Asian pizza spot anytime we're in Iowa. Zombie Burger, also in Iowa. Yeah, Waffle House, Whataburger, Sheets,
Right.
Wawa, the typical
Sheets,
like
no,
fast
Wawa,
food.
yeah.
Well, in terms
my
of
God.
Sheets versus Wawa, that's like a big thing in the Northeast here.
See, I don't get it.
I'm team Wawa.
I'm
Oh
team
my
whatever I see
God.
first.
Fuck Sheets.
Whatever I see first.
It depends on what I want. Wawa, sandwiches.
Yes.
Okay.
Sheets, everything
Mac and
else.
cheese.
Yeah.
No,
They have those with all those flavor, all those mac and cheeses with all that crazy shit in them.
That's okay.
Just no bacon.
But coffee is all Wawa.
Ooh. Yeah, just anything but Dunkin'.
I'm a cold brew person,
He's a cold brew.
and I
I
see
like
their new ads that are all like, "What do you put on top of a Dunkin' cold brew?" And I'm like, a lid, and then you throw that
Nothing.
shit away because I don't know what to put.
Yeah. It's like people are always so nitpicky about Starbucks. But from somebody who tours,
Yes.
Starbucks is consistent, and I need
Yes.
that. Dunkin' is like 99% sugar and then this much coffee. They're like, it's always like, do you want creamer? Whole cup.
Yes.
My issue with coffee is that I drink it black.
That's
So
an
that
issue.
is your issue. That's your issue.
That's a huge issue when it comes to
I
consistency.
don't know. I don't know if you know
especially,
this, but
even place to
you're
place.
already married. You don't need to impress anyone else. It's okay.
I like black coffee.
No, you don't. Nobody likes
really
You don't.
Nobody
I
likes
really
You're a
fucking don't.
liar. You're a
You think
liar.
you do, but you
Okay.
don't.
Okay, I'm gonna bring you guys. I'm gonna send you, and I'm gonna send you some of the coffee that we get, and
Okay.
drink it black.
And I'll put some almond milk in it, and I'll love it.
Fucking
Yeah. This
Thick and
podcast has
creamy.
literally just been about food.
Sorry,
It's my podcast.
You're welcome.
I'm not even upset.
Bacon is in the
Okay,
name
let's-
of the podcast.
Okay, let's move on.
Okay.
No more food.
All right. So away from food stuff, you're a
Mhm,
graphic
mhm.
artist, right?
I am. Yes.
So
I
You
am.
actually so before we go any further,
Yeah.
you did my band's logo.
Did I really?
Yeah.
I don't mean to offend you because
No,
I
know
have
because you have a
done
lot of
art.
shit going on.
I have done art for over 200 different bands.
That's
Right.
awesome.
And 199 of them are better and more successful than my band,
Well, not better.
which is fine.
Not better. It's more successful,
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
but not better. Your band's great.
Yeah.
Really quickly, remind
Yes.
me your band's name.
Something heavy
Oh, yes, I remember. Okay.
That is
You're
a
such a
lie.
liar.
That is a
No.
lie.
You're such a liar.
No, I remember.
She's bringing that shit up. She's gonna be like, "No, I remember. Look, I just brought it up and looked at it to remind
Well,
myself."
share
I
screen.
remember. I remember. Let's see. Name.
Well, while you're looking up his band to figure out who it
Here,
is.
here. I got it.
That was
I got it.
okay. Hey. That was in 2019. Okay, that was a long time ago. Okay,
That was a long
speaking,
time ago.
Technically speaking, that was 2 years ago, but we had COVID, so this was like 4 years ago.
Tell people how they can get in touch with you in terms of.
Yeah, are you still doing that for
graphic
people?
Yeah.
Or
stuff.
okay.
Yeah, I am. I do. Actually, one of my full-time gigs now is I do merch for Falling in Reverse. I do tons of merchandise for them, copious amounts, and I do his Twitch stream stuff and a couple other things. So I've been super heavily on that. So I don't post as many like pre-mades or anything anymore because I'm just don't have time. And I'm also full-time in school, and I'm full-time in a band. So 3 full-time jobs. I'm fine.
Who's put out this like this record that like kind of what? It's like 1 million streams or something.
Yeah, we're actually over that now. Yeah, we're over that. Crazy. Okay, well, let me mention this. My art is Ridgeline Media CA at gmail.com. If you need art, hit me up. Ridgeline Media. That's me. That's my thing. Secondly, yes, our record hit 1 million streams before the record even was out, which is so cool. We had over 400 different merch and CD in like album orders, and that's just from the specific orders. That doesn't include how many vinyls they bought. So it was crazy. It was like when my label messaged us the numbers, I had a low-key like moment of realization that this is working.
Right.
That it's working, that our band is doing something which is crazy to me. You always, like, when you start a band, I mean, your bands, you go, yeah, we're going to be fucking huge, and it's going to be sick. And then 6 years go by, 7 years go by, and you're like, we're not huge. We're not sick. And so, yeah, that was, it took me, I think it's just because I had such high expectations of what would happen with Damsel. And don't get me wrong, I think we did some super cool things and got to do crazy festivals. And like we got to do some really cool things.
Yeah, absolutely.
Was it where I thought we would be? No. I hoped we would be. Obviously, I think everyone thinks this. You're always like, I want to be bigger. I want to be the biggest. And so like in Micket and I, every interview ever, people always say, like, what's a goal of yours? And we say Madison Square Garden 3 nights in a row, sold out. And that didn't happen first record. And I was like, we're not a first band record. This is stupid. I'm going to have to wait 10 years before our band's big. Because it's either that. You either blow up on your first record, or it's 10 years until you guys do something. Yeah. So I was like, fuck. I don't know what my point of all this was, but we're not a first band record. And the realization that we're selling better on the second one, that's like, okay, cool.
Well, it's growth. It shows growth. It shows
growth,
that you're getting more versus the last thing. So explain to me, like, walk us through like that first feeling of seeing that you like hit 1 million. What was that for you? Because that's a big like, fucking number, right?
Like are you talking for this 1 million?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because this one was quicker.
Yeah, no, it was so weird. It was like
this wasn't a cumulative. This was a right away.
I said it.
You know, that's a big thing.
When we dropped Lavenders, I was like, it would be really cool if we hit 1 million before the record came out. Right. I was like, that would be really like, or like when the record came out, like first week kind of thing. And I kind of said it online. I was like, like I said, first song that hits 1 million streams, I'll get tattooed on my body. And like I was like making jokes, like and then and I was like, it'd be really cool if the album hit 1 million before it blah blah blah, and it'd be cool if blah 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 blah, and like and it all just happened. It just like our fans and everybody was like, well, we're gonna make it happen. And I was like, that's super cool. And I think the coolest part for me hitting 1 million was we got some playlisting, but like Damn Soul got tons of playlisting, like curated playlisting.
Right.
This record did, but not like Damn Soul did. It was very different. And we still hit 1 million before the record came out. It took us almost an entire year to hit 1 million on Damn Soul. So like that perspective was like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Was it like, okay, well, I've been putting this out here. I've kind of manifested this and kind of worked my ass off and deserve this, which you guys do. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Or was it like, holy shit, like this happened fast. This is great.
Oh no, it was a holy shit moment. I literally, one of our songs on our new record, Alkaline, is about this. It's about my perception of like where I think the band is and like where the band actually is very skewed. To a lot of people, my band is huge. But like from my perspective, my band is not huge. Like we have so long to go until we are what I consider huge. Like huge to me is Madison Square Garden 3 nights in a row sold out.
Right.
But to a lot of other people, huge is selling out a venue. Any venue.
Of course. Yeah.
And like, so it's like my perception is so skewed. So I will say the one thing that blew my mind more than the record hitting 1 million streams was the day after the record came out, somebody got the album title tattooed on their body.
That's amazing.
Not even 24 hours after it came out.
That's amazing.
And I remember messaging it to the band and everyone was like, already? Like, really?
Yeah.
Well,
and then
I gotta tell you, that the title of the record is just like, why somebody hasn't put something out earlier. Well, shame on them, because it's one of those things that just like it's when you guys released it, I was like, why hasn't this happened yet before? Right?
Yeah,
but it's a really, really good theme, especially when you're like talking mental health and anything like that. It's a great phrase.
Yeah, I mentioned it to Micket actually in our interview with him. I'm a very, I'm a songwriter too, so I'm a very lyrical person, and I really kind of like get lost in the lyrics of a lot of things, and I have a way of empathizing with the singer, and I start to kind of like put their words in my shoes, which I think a lot of people think it's all about putting yourself in the other person's shoes, but it's like when I'm listening to a song, it's all about figuring out a way to get people to put your words in their shoes. And and I think that's such a huge thing. And just the sad looks pretty on me line alone. And I mentioned this like straight out to Micket. I was like, dude, I wish I wrote that. Like it was one of those things where like you hear it and you're like, son of a bitch. That's like, so it's obvious yet still unique and artistic to where you kind of like look at it and you go, that's so smart. But you also look at it and go, why didn't I think of that? And it's such a cool thing, like, and a lot of your lyrics are like that, honestly. Like I identified with so many things. And one of the measures for me always, if I like a band and I like their songs and I really get into it, is if I like songs because they make me think of me, and if I hate songs because they make me think of me.
Did it do both?
And you guys, different songs have done both to me, honestly. Like I identify in a lot of different ways with a lot of different lyrics that you have, because you're so varied in what you talk about. There's some things that's you've got a little bit of like tongue in cheek and hook and stuff like that, but then you've got some real deep shit that like cuts you. And it's like, wow, when a band can kind of, I think with Micket, we were talking a little bit more about how the band juggles the sonic differences of everybody's influences. But lyrically, there's just this like, sometimes it's a mountain that's crushing you, and sometimes it's a river that's taking you. And those things are huge to me. as a listener. And that's one of the things that like I appreciate. If I hear a song and I go, fuck, this is how I felt at this time, or this is how I feel right now, and I didn't have a better way to explain it myself, and now I have one. Like, I feel like that's a huge thing, and I appreciate that. And like really, really good lyrics, content, and messaging in your music. And I appreciate that a lot, which is very cool.
Well,
yeah.
Now that I'm on a very high horse.
I have to, like, for me,
sorry, I'm not trying to kiss your ass.
I came on here to get my ego rubbed.
For me personally, like, so I know it's all about the new record, but I'm an OG now. Can I say I'm an OG Rivals fan?
Yeah, you can, because you're the reason I heard of them.
Right.
So you introduced me, so you've introduced people to them, which makes you an OG.
Reflection. Holy shit.
Yes. That's my favorite song on Damn Soul.
Oh.
That was my favorite song on Damn Soul.
I was obnoxious. Like anytime I've seen you guys, Jen has always gone, stop screaming in my ear. Because the chorus is so high that I just have to scream it. And she's like, stop, just stop, I hate you. Stop it.
That was the only song that word wasn't in the chorus at all.
No, it's
which
not,
that's typically how I name my songs. Is I'll just like choose a word in the chorus. I'm like, that's the one. Or because I'm creative.
That's
but if
the
it makes
hook.
you
Name it the hook.
Yeah, if it makes you feel better, technically, I didn't write Sad Looks Pretty on Me either.
Ooh.
Oh,
yeah. So let me tell you a little story behind it. I've told the story many times just because it's so significant to like the whole thing. But
well, then I'm
I
sorry,
was going through a really weird time in my life. I was like so mentally confused and distraught in my life. And I went to a bar with Adrian from Assuming You Survive. Do you know who they are?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
And I wasn't drinking that night. I was just hanging out, just chilling. And he walks up to me and he goes, hey, are you okay? And I was like, I'm all right. He goes, well, at least Sad looks pretty on you. And I looked at him and he was, drunk at this point. And I looked at him and I was like, can I use that? And he was like, sure. He's like, you absolutely can. I don't care. And I was like, cool. Thank you. And I wrote that down and this was happening in Damn Soul's cycle. So this wasn't even in like a thought. I just wrote it down on my phone. I have like a whole list of stuff. I call them, it's my punchlines note.
Yes.
And I wrote it down in there.
We're there.
I wrote it down. And time was coming. We were writing the new record. And I was like, man, I really want to make this work. And I kept trying to make it work. I actually tried to make it work on Lavenders originally. And it didn't work. So I was like, okay, whatever. And then the time came around and we wrote Sad. And I was trying to make, I sure know how to make Sad look pretty on me. It just felt weird. So I was like, well, then how can I like swing it?
Right.
And then I came up with Sad looks pretty good on me. And then at the end, obviously I sing like the big,
Right.
And yeah, so technically speaking, I did not write that line. Adrian from Assuming We Survived did.
Oh.
I just made it fit.
You know what? Technically speaking, you did write that line because you made it yours.
That's true. I did, yeah. But credit goes to him. Thank you, Adrian, for that one. That was seriously the coolest. Awesome. You never know.
So was this your first like rock band that you were ever in?
Oh yeah, this is my only band. Before I joined Rivals.
That's okay. So first off, you're a dick. But second off,
that's my only band. I've never been in another band. Before Rivals, I did like pop music. It was awful. It was terrible. I was like 18 years old, and I was like. But I made like 5-6 songs, pop music, and then Micket approached me. And then
couldn't have been
I joined Rivals, and I've been in Rivals ever since.
That's awesome. Good for you. Good for you.
I just have no idea when to quit. So
That is probably
That's okay,
the
though.
single best quality a successful person can have.
Right.
I know.
Because
I have no self-control. It's either really good or really bad.
Well, you know what? No one is ever, honestly, no one's ever successful because they just like, oh shit, I'll try this and I'm successful. People think that, but that's not what happens. Overnight successes take 10 years, like you said. So it's all a matter of like being stubborn and not quitting and just being like, well, this is what I do.
21 Pilots. People are like, they got so big so fast. And I was like, no, they didn't. They've been a band for 10 years.
Like 10 years?
Yeah.
They did not get big fast. I have a question for y'all.
Oh, whoa.
Oh, shit.
Before you have that question, we have to pay a bill.
No, let her do the question. Then we'll pay the bill.
No. Let's do the question.
She's got a question.
No. Because
it's
pulling
quick.
rank.
It'll be quick. It'll be quick.
Pulling rank. She's doing it.
I'm pulling rank.
She's pulling rank.
She's pulling rank.
That's two of us. Fine. 2 against 1.
Fine.
You lose.
Wait, what are you drinking there?
This is water. I finished this.
Oh. Nana's got game.
Okay, here it is. What is your favorite song on our new record?
Oh. Fake Rich.
Okay.
Yeah, I like heavy stuff. So, but also,
it's a good song.
It's a good song. It's fun.
It's a good song.
I also deal with like a lot of fucking. I deal with at work. I deal with like the hierarchy of people. I'm here, and I deal with the hierarchy. So it's like, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
I get it.
it.
So right now it deals with that. Overall,
second favorite.
I like Strawberries.
Okay. Yeah, look at you. Just all over the spectrum.
I don't know because I'm one of those people that I'll listen to a record and then tomorrow I'll listen to it and I'll have a different favorite. But Alkaline, I like a lot. I like Strawberries a lot. I like Sad Looks Pretty. I think right now Alkaline.
Yeah.
Is my favorite.
It's probably my second favorite on the record. My first is Strawberries.
Strawberries is so good.
Strawberries was the first time that I got to make a pop song.
Well, I love it for the same reason that I'm like, I grew up in my first experience with music. So I was at my dad's mom's place, my grandmother in Michigan, and I went into his closet and I was probably
Do you mean
10.
Your grandma?
Yes, I said my grandma.
Well, you said your
my dad's mom's place.
And then I corrected it with grandma afterwards. Roll the tape, you'll hear it. Because I said that, and then my brain went, that was dumb. Why didn't you just say grandma?
So glad that you're here, too. So I'm not the only one catching on these things and going, hey, jerk, you said this.
Hey, I talked.
That's great.
Whatever.
You said it, and I was like trying to put it together. I was like, his dad's.
Well, and while you were putting it together, my brain went, that was a dumb thing to say. Just say grandma. And I was like, my grandma.
Okay, continue. Sorry.
Right, okay. So
continue.
I was at my grandmother's place in Michigan, and I went into I was sleeping in my dad's old room, and I went into his closet, and he had a guitar, which was this horrible like harmony guitar that like had 3 strings on it. And that was my first time ever holding a guitar. And he had this 8-track player and a bunch of 8-track tapes. And he had Houses of the Holy by Zeppelin, and he had Kiss Alive 2, I think it was. So I don't know how it worked. I don't know. I don't even know where my point is in this story anymore. I don't even know why we started this story because I forgot it because my brain went on the grandma thing.
You know, I don't remember either.
Right? Because it's that exciting. It's that exciting of a story. Everybody got quiet, and I was like, this is not worth everybody's patience.
So
what the hell were we talking about?
Jimmy likes 8-track. That's how old he is.
I don't even know what they look like.
They're these like giant fucking
like
things.
a super cumbersome cassette tape that was only side driven into a
so like
something.
a VHS.
Yeah.
Like half of VHS.
Half sides. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Why were VHSs so big? Do you remember opening them? Did you ever open one?
Yes.
Yeah, those are
They were like empty.
Great.
Yes.
You know what though? It was
Why
the
were they
whole
so
excitement of like, oh, I gotta rip this fucking plastic. And then you pull out the tape, you're like, you get to put that into the
I'm so confused for this.
VHS.
Do you remember floppy disks?
I do remember floppy disks.
Yeah.
I remember floppy disks. I had a game. I don't remember what the game was, but I had a game.
Doom.
You know they took like 2 megabytes?
Yeah.
So they could hold.
It was huge.
Literally hold.
It was fucking huge.
2 megabytes. I know, that was like crazy. Now games are like 100 gigabytes.
You love your weekly dose of bacon as my podcast, but you need even more bacon. Well, just go over to baconismypodcast.com. You can engage even more with us over there. It's a pathway to our music, extra content, our social media pages. Most importantly, grab yourself some pretty sweet swag and put it all over your body parts. Again, that's baconismypodcast.com. Listen to some tunes, pick up some merch, and tell us, what's your bacon?
So you guys want to hear a funny story?
Yes.
Of course.
I'll try to make it quick. So my mom lives out in Palm Springs, California. It's like a vacation town. She lives there. She's retired out there. And she goes on this walk up in this canyon. It's a desert. Excuse me. And she goes and she sees this guy, and he's covered in tattoos. And she goes up to him and she goes, "Hi, are you in a band?" And he goes, "I am in a band." She goes, "Oh yeah, my daughter and her boyfriend are both in bands." And he goes, "Oh, what bands are they in?" And she mentioned some, and he goes, "Oh, I don't know who they are." And she goes, "Oh yeah, they're both pretty, like they're like on the smaller side." And she goes, "Well, what band are you in?" And he goes, "Oh yeah, I play in a band called Guns N' Roses."
Gunses?
And she goes, "What do you do?" And he goes, "Oh, I'm a drummer." She goes, "Cool. I used to listen to you guys in the 80s. And then she calls me and she goes, "So I just met some guy in a band." And I was like, "Okay." And she goes, "Yeah, he was in Guns N' Roses." Why am I saying it like that? Guns N' Roses.
I just
Guns
love it.
It's pretty great that you're saying
Guns N' Roses.
I'm like,
who says
who
pluralizes
kinda
guns?
funny.
I don't know. Probably I do. And I go, "Mom, are you sure it was him? He could have just been lying." And she goes, "Oh, I don't know. He was wearing a mask." So I pull up a bunch of photos. She goes, "Yeah, that's him." And now every time she sees him, she goes, "He asks one about my band." Secondly,
That's amazing.
my mom and him are officially friends.
That's fantastic.
That's great.
So see, I can't wait to come see Guns N' Roses with Rivals opening.
Gunses.
3
Guns N'
nights.
Roses is
3 nights at MSG. You never
Guns
know
N'
where your
Roses.
connections are going to happen, and now you
wait.
have a connection with Guns N' Roses.
So your boyfriend, Cody,
Yes,
is in a band. What
Yes.
band is he in?
they're called the Browning. They're like
Oh, I know the Brownie. I listen to them all the time.
Yeah,
No shit.
Yeah, he's in the
That's awesome.
Browning. He does our records. He mixes and
Yeah,
masters and does some writing.
Oh, that's awesome.
I listen to them.
I had a question for you as a graphic artist, right?
Sure.
So I've kind of been the one doing our band's album covers and merch and stuff like that.
It's a good choice.
So as someone who does that but I like suck at it. I take what takes other people 30 minutes on Photoshop takes me like half a day. It just happens
Relatable.
that I just can't.
It happens to me too, depending on what I'm trying to do.
Oh, it happens to me when I'm trying to just like make something not look like a ransom note.
Like 5.
Yeah.
Sometimes ransom notes are cool though.
Yeah, once. And then the next time you do something, it shouldn't look like a ransom note still.
Now you're just Zodiac killer.
Right, exactly.
Right.
So, but I did want to ask because I remember very first time I ever saw somebody in a band T-shirt with my band's name on it was absolutely mind-blowing to me. I thought it was the coolest thing. It like not obviously not at a show where someone bought it and I saw them buy it and I sold it to them and I gave them
And then
change
they put it
and then
on.
they put it on. Right.
Yeah.
Like when I saw someone in the wild with
like their
my
Pokemon.
band, right, exactly. Like when I found them and they had one of my band T-shirts on, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Right. So there's a certain amount of like pride and excitement that happens with that. And also a little bit of embarrassment for me where I'm just kind of like, there's better bands out there. You should put something else on. But as a graphic artist, right, is there a difference when you see someone wearing a band T-shirt that you designed versus a band T-shirt that you did not design? Do you get like that little extra bit of pride or have you just designed everything?
Yeah, everything. The shirt you're wearing, the shirt you're wearing, the shirt I'm wearing. I designed all of it.
Every shirt in existence.
I made it. No, it's like the same sense of pride almost because like my band, like if I see someone wearing one of my band shirts, I'm like, man, that's cool.
Right.
And then I double ante it up by saying, wow, not only are you wearing my band shirt, but you're wearing a shirt that I made. So that's cool. And then I doubled it up by now, all those big merch sites, like Merch Now and like stuff like that.
Yeah.
I can go on there and find tons of my designs. And I even upped it once and now I'm all over Hot Topic. So
that's totally cool.
It's
that's amazing.
Super cool. And a lot of the times, people tag me in TikTok videos a lot of people wearing designs that I've made. They're like, didn't you make this? I'm like, I did. And it's just like, it's usually like Falling in Reverse. I've done Escape the Fate. I've done.
Right.
Yeah.
I've done a lot of stuff. I've done stuff for Paige, WWE, Zelina from WWE. Like I've done a lot of stuff. So I get tagged in stuff constantly, all the time. Just of people wearing my stuff. And I've been at shows of ours where I'll see someone wearing a shirt that I made of another band. And I'll walk up to them being like, I made that shirt.
Well, that's what I mean.
Cool.
That's what I mean. Like that idea of like someone wearing your band shirt is one thing. It's amazing because they're a supporter and they're a fan. But someone wearing a shirt that's not even your band, that just happens to be a piece of art that you made. Like, is it the same?
Yeah.
Is it the same kind of thing? Or is it like a double thing because you're like, it's my fucking band also? Like, or just
it's
in
definitely
general, is it just pride?
It depends. Because like once shows come back, I'll probably more than likely go to a Falling in Reverse show and I'll more than likely see mainly my designs. He has other people design stuff for him, but like I do a lot of it. Like every quarter I sell him 20 designs every quarter.
That's awesome.
So 80 designs a year, if not more, I sell to him every quarter.
That's
so
great.
Yes. So I make, and it's not just for his Twitch, that's for everything, all of it. I make a lot of it. Or a ton of it. And so like for me, it's like so cool because like I get to see that other people enjoying merch from a band that they like, but like that piece of merch the most to buy it and put it on their body. That's cool.
That's really cool.
The whole thing is so cool. It's like, because like my band's like one of my careers, and then I also have my graphics. That's like my other part of my career, and I'm in school, and that's another part of my career that's gonna come. So it's like I like things.
Do you have anything that you created for somebody that you do not like?
Oh yeah, there's lots.
That is out there that you see and you're like,
there's lots.
Son of a bitch. Why is
there's
this
a lot.
popular?
I know it's so weird, but sometimes I make things for people that they like.
Right.
And they really like it.
Well, they're the customer.
Yeah, that's all. As long as they like it, that's all that matters. Like as long as you enjoy what I made for you, that's what's important because you paid me money to make you something you like. Do I like it? Not always.
Do you ever have
and I do try to talk people out of it.
You know what's amazing? What's amazing is you deal with like, obviously you make a lot more money than like my barber.
Okay.
My barber gives me a hard
Maybe?
time.
Don't you cut
It's
your
like-
own hair?
Well, now I just started cutting my own hair
He
because of
is
that.
his barber.
Because my barber was like, I was like, listen, man, I'm gonna need
You make
$20.
more money. He's like, you make more money than my barber.
Then my barber,
Me.
yeah.
Right. Well,
Who is me?
I paid more money for my design than I paid for my haircut.
Right.
Yeah.
But the guy was like, no, I don't want to do that. And I was like, well, we're at a crossroads here. I don't know what to tell you. I'll see you later.
Which is
I
why
never
he's wearing.
I never really. I mean, I guess some people like don't like doing things because it's out of like they want to be their creative selves, and if they have to go outside that, they're like, I don't want to do that. I'm so not like that. I'm like,
yeah, it's huge.
I'm good at my job. I make cool stuff, and I like making cool stuff. And if I can make somebody's sometimes bad idea slightly cooler, I did my fucking job. That's my job.
Yeah.
No, you're
You
right.
know?
Because people have a lot of bad ideas. Like they really
They do.
Case in point.
Yeah.
No, I actually really liked your design.
That's why he's wearing hats.
It's not that bad.
You know what? I cut my own hair too, and I look like a paintbrush right now. It's okay.
It's fine.
No, but but I do feel that my girlfriend during COVID, she's a lighting director. She's a lighting director for Joan Jett, actually. And so
Okay.
she's out on tour all the time, right? And
Yeah.
she is a big
Just
part of
subtle
creating.
flex. Just
No,
one of the women who made rock music for women like a thing. Like nobody.
Yeah, she's
Well,
kind of cool.
right. That ain't my flex at all. That's like
Yeah, but you're dating
she's
her.
awesome. I'm a degree from awesome, which is great. So during COVID, she hasn't been able to obviously do that because there's no tours or anything like that. So she started kind of like loosely kind of working. She's doing the Fiverr thing and like designing other people's websites because she also has a band. She's got a really good all-girl punk rock band called Jackknife Stiletto that's fucking awesome. They're on Blackheart Records. They have a couple records out. Everybody should check them out. jackknifestiletto.com. They're fantastic.
Go back in the archives.
Yes,
Or
go back in the
as some
archives. They're
people say the archives
absolutely awesome.
because they
So
she's
during
been on an episode.
during this time, she's been doing like other people's websites. She's editing other people's videos and stuff like that. But she got into doing acrylic pour, and she's like painting and just kind of like figured out how to do it. But she's one of those hustler people to where she's like, oh, I'm going to start selling these and make an Etsy page. So she started selling acrylic pours. She's naming her acrylic pours after whatever color she has. Like, oh, this one's got the colors of like the New Day WWE guys. And so I'm going to call it like the Field of Power, New Day, Power of Positivity. And this one, it looks like Thanos to me because it's purple and blue. So I'm going to call it Thanos. And so she's marketing, but she's had a few people that commissioned her to do stuff. And they're like, can you do this for me? And yeah, whatever. And so like she does these things that like she might never make on her own, but because she's working for somebody else, she makes them and still makes them in her way. And like you said, kind of like you find your way to take someone else's like shit idea and make it a cool idea and make it kind of work. And
yeah.
so
I mean,
I've
that's
seen
my
that
job.
firsthand. Yeah, I've seen that
Yeah.
firsthand. I think it's awesome. And I think in art, it's so cool to be able to kind of do that, to be able to hear someone else's idea and go, okay, everything you said sucks, but
I'll never say that.
right.
I'll be
No,
like,
but in your
okay,
mind,
yeah, I'm
right.
Yeah.
How does it feel like? So for my band, I actually took a pre-made thing and I put my shitty idea on your cool idea. How does that feel too?
Okay, so sometimes I'm like I'm just gonna be brutally honest, okay? Nobody really you normally ask me too many questions about my art stuff. So sometimes I'll make a piece of art and it'll be so cool. I'll be like, this is the cream, this is everything I've ever dreamed of. This is perfect. And then they email me back and they're like, yeah, can you change this. And then now it's like 9 times less cool.
Right.
And it's so disappointing. It makes me so sad.
Do you keep the original?
Oh yeah, that's usually the one that I like is the one that I post. And it does happen sometimes where people have me change things enough. They have me change things out to like to suit more of what they like, that's the point of my job. I'm trying to make what they want, but inside my head I'm like,
right.
No, but I like my job. I like what I get to do. I like that I get to take ideas from other people, like you said, things that I would never make myself ever. But I like making those things because it helps me step outside my norm and outside my box. Because I feel like if you just keep doing the things that you like, you're never going to learn to do something that you don't like, which in turn could create you or could make you learn to do something that you end up liking and not realizing it, or you learn something from it that you can use in your own art, I just think it's like sometimes like so people are so weird about like, I don't want to do that. It's not my art. Like, I just think it's like, so why?
Well, I feel like get so attached. People get so attached. And I think, honestly, I think that's part of the reason that like, that probably adds to your ability to write song-wise with the people that you write with, because there's so many different influences and so much difference coming in.
Because she also alluded to the fact that she like the first things she put out were pop oriented. So you get somebody else going, hey, I want to put some rock to that, and she was just like, yeah, cool, let's do it.
Okay.
Like, that's really oh man, that's the best, man.
I feel that, when I was a kid, it was like Michael Jackson, Duran Duran, and Cheap Trick were like my heroes when I was like 5. And it was like when I got into a band, it was like I got into a band with like metal people, and I was like, oh, Testament's also awesome. Like, all right, cool. The Used is the shit.
Oh,
Guns N' Roses is awesome.
Yeah.
Like
Burt McCracken is my vocalist father. I love him. He's
God,
he's great.
I never want to meet him. Don't want to meet the guy, but I love him as a person.
I've actually a vocalist.
I'm scared to meet him.
Yeah,
he's what? He's one of the few. He's one of the few vocalists that I feel like just completely embodies the emotion of whatever he's singing.
Yeah, I love him. He was a huge influence on me as a vocalist.
For me personally, it took me a long time to appreciate the Used, because for me, a lot of the time it was like,
you're wrong.
No,
I don't mean to be rude, but like,
you are wrong.
Okay, hear me out here. Hear me out.
I'll hear you tell wrong things.
I love the Used records. Love them.
Do you?
I love them a lot.
I don't know.
I love them a lot.
I don't know.
But then I saw them live. I saw them live on Project Revolution, and Bert was not at his peak. Okay, so when I see somebody at live, and they are, excuse my French here, but the absolute drizzling shits on vocals, I kind of go,
How many times did you see him?
Oh, like 3 times.
And all 3 times he was drizzling shit?
Awful.
Really?
But then,
I've seen him twice, and both times were great.
But then I think I've seen them like 2 or 3 times after that, because my wife wanted me to go see them 2 or 3 times after that. They were actually very good, because he dropped the tuning and he figured out like,
I'm really glad that today people are starting to realize that the highest note isn't always the best.
Yes.
I'm a firm believer. I don't believe that high notes are better notes.
Nope.
I would rather hear
right notes
a note.
Are the right notes.
I would rather hear a note that is so perfect in your range that when you hit it, it makes me quiver. That's the note I want to hear. I don't care how high of a note you can sing. It's so boring. We get it. Yeah. We have Mariah Carey. We get it. You can pierce my ears off. Boring.
I just want you to
show
make
me emotion.
So my question, in the genre of dark pop, right? You do have a lot of extra things that are happening in your music. How much do you guys rely on tracks or extra stuff?
Oh, we're fully tracked. Everything's backtracked. Me, the band. No, I was kidding.
Well, I was gonna say, what happens if that goes down, and what's your feelings on that? Like,
it's happened.
Are you able to be like, fuck it, we're playing it as a 4-piece or a 5-piece right now, and we're just doing it?
We do that, but it sounds awful. we are a lot of tracks.
Okay.
Everything synth based. Actually, new set wise, we'll be doing some of it live. Synth wise, we have pads and stuff now.
Right.
But Damsel era, a lot of it was tracked. All the electronics were tracked, which is like 50% of our music.
So what happens? What happens in the case that something happens with the tracks?
We just play. Play through it.
Well, you guys have like the light show too. You got the light
We do,
bar.
but if our tracks go out, our lights go out. We've had moments actually on the jumpsuit tour. We were in Omaha, Nebraska, and it was a sold out show. The venue was small, 150 kids max could fit in that room, maybe, and they probably pushed it past that.
Right.
By the end of the show, there was so much from people sweating. It was 110 degrees outside, and the goddamn fucking AC broke.
Oh.
There was literally a puddle of water from people sweating on the carpet.
Oh my God.
It was like literally like in a hole, I don't know, like this big, but it was like an inch of water walking through there.
Wow.
It was so hot in there, the laptop started skipping.
I didn't even know that could happen.
I didn't know it could happen either, but it did.
Wow.
And so it was us. We hit Layla, which is like a break for me. So I stepped outside and I grabbed the laptop. It was still connected, and I took it outside, and I set it there and let it play for a second outside, and then pulled it back inside, and we just kept going. It happens. Sometimes shit just doesn't work, and either you just deal with it or you turn them off and you just play. And it's happened multiple times. We've had it happen.
Yeah.
We can play our set without it. Will it sound good? Probably not. We also have a second guitar.
Will it sound as good?
Yeah. So like it's not as thick. There's no more harmonies or backup vocals. That's all gone. No synths, all gone. Our second guitar is gone. All our sub bass, like that sub plays like over to give it thickness, gone.
Right. So you become a punk
band. Yeah. It's not, I wouldn't say it sounds bad.
Right.
Are we a heavy track band? Absolutely. I'm not even ashamed to admit that. I don't even care. We sound great live.
Well, I mean,
no, I don't think there's
honestly,
any shame in it. I just think it's important for bands that are coming up. And, you know, we have a lot of friends that are in bands and a lot of musicians that do listen to this that are coming up and they're trying their hand at tracks, or they're writing entirely in tracks. Some of them aren't even playing anything and they're just kind of making tracks. It's kind of like, you can't just rely on that. You got to still be able to play your set, you know, regardless of what the extras are great, but they're extras, right? You still got to be able to play
you have
your
to look
set.
at them like they're additions.
Yeah.
Like, well, I mean, I'm being very over dramatic when I say we sound garbage without our tracks, because that's just not true.
Yeah.
But I mean, we still sound good. It's just not going to sound the same because it's obviously all the elements. Yeah. All the elements are gone. I mean, and even with a synth pad, that shit overheats too. It's all electronics. Everything. You know, nothing's going to change.
Right. You should be able to play your set with.
Oh, I agree.
Amps and drums and a singer.
Well, that's the other thing. We don't have amps.
Neither do we.
Yeah, nobody does anymore. We talked about that too.
So that's another added in.
You should be able to play your set acoustic if everything goes down.
And I'll sing just me. I'll acapella that bitch.
Yeah. Just I'll snap a beat. Just go.
It was funny that night at Knitting Factory. So Seb came out and was like talking to somebody, and I ended up talking to him a little bit, and he was talking about just like whatever technical problems you were having at the time.
Yeah, we had a really bad day that day. We were getting so much interference in our in-ears. Like, it literally was like a radio station, no matter what channel we chose. I want to say we played without ears that night.
Do you prefer in-ears as a singer, or do you prefer to have, do you do one in, one out? Do you prefer to hear the crowd? What do you do as a singer?
Both in. One, I don't want to be deaf in one ear and not in the other. That's worse.
That does make sense. Yeah.
And then also, it took me a long time to get used to the in-ears because I was so used to loving the feeling of the crowd. But over time, I just kept putting them both in, and I just kept forcing myself to do it. And after a while, now it's like, it's almost nice because I kind of get sucked in. Like, we also set up a crowd mic, which really helped.
Right. I'm sure. So you still hear it. Yeah.
I still hear it. But something about just getting lost in it, and like I can hear everything perfectly, and it's so clear, and it sounds like I'm in a recording studio.
Right.
Where, I mean, obviously it doesn't sound nearly as good as that because in-ears are like,
of course,
never sound like that. But
right.
It just sounds a lot better. And then I don't feel like I'm straining, like, because I do that sometimes where I just like unnecessarily yell.
Yes.
Even though I don't need to. And that kind of helps stop that. So
I can see that. I tried them for 2 tours, and I brought them because the kind of tours that we were on are not the kind of tours that you guys do at all. So therefore I would get to a show and there are no monitors. There is no back of house. There is no,
Oh, that's why we got ours, was because we were so sick and fucking tired of showing up to venues with literal potatoes sitting on the top front of the stage and counting them as monitors and then being like, good luck. Our whole band, we don't have amps.
Right.
We have to have monitors.
Right. We got to hear something. Yeah.
Have to. So that was ours because we were playing a bunch of venues, and it still happens. We still run into the scenario where there's like literal. I'm not even kidding. They took a potato and put 2 fucking wires in it, plugged them in, and set them on the thing, and we're like, yeah, monitors.
Enjoy.
I legit.
Is there enough highs in that for you?
Oh my god.
No. So Micket was talking about like how he was building guitars and shit like that, and I said to him, I was like, hey, I have a bunch of parts sitting in my fucking basement. So do you want them?
Are you the person who sent into those parts?
Yeah. So yeah, so I sent him all those parts, and he's like, dude, like I really appreciate that. Like what can I do for you? And I was like, explain to me the in-ear monitor system. Like you need to fucking like let me know how that works.
Yeah.
So he sent me some legit like schematic and stuff like that.
Oh, you got to share that shit with me. I don't get it. Okay, so I stopped Mike earlier from going into our we have a sponsor, and so every interview that we do.
Wow, that was a while ago.
Yeah, I stopped him, and then we went like way long on this interview. We might have to make this 2 parts. No, I'm sorry. Thank you for hanging out with us so long. So we need to feed the beast. No, it's you know what? It's been fun. So who cares?
Good.
You know what I mean?
People will love it.
Yeah. But we are sponsored by a company called Poddex. And have you ever played Cards Against Humanity?
I have.
It's similar, right? So they made a company that sells these cards for podcasters to give you ideas for interview questions or ideas for like podcast topics and things like that. And so every single episode, we like to do a section where we let our guest choose which deck of cards they're going to answer a question from. And we randomly pick one and you get a random question. It could be really, really
she's getting good at
easy and simple question.
So it could be a simple question.
Or it could be excellent.
It could be.
We never know. You never know.
So we have the interview 2 deck. We've got interview deck. We've got what the heck deck in the green, and the would you rather deck in the red.
Which one did Micket choose?
I think Micket chose would you rather.
Okay, green one.
But we have the green one. So we have what the heck. Now I'm going to hand this to Mike because it is an ongoing joke at my expense on this show that I lived in Las Vegas, Nevada, and yet I cannot at all shuffle cards.
You want to see something funny? Do it.
Nope.
Pretend. Do it. Come on.
Here's what I
Try
do.
to do it. Watch this.
I'm gonna
Watch
turn
this.
them around,
Quick.
and then I'm gonna
Watch
do this.
Don't fuck it up.
That's what I did. That's
Good
what I did.
job.
Right.
I've
But
seen
But
worse.
for all the ASMR people,
Oh. That sounded like a fart in my ears.
it sure did.
You ever have like your stomach makes weird noise and it's like you're like, is that my stomach or did I just fart?
Yes.
Yes.
And
All
I've
the time.
Yes.
I've also had my stomach make a noise where I was like, do I need to tell the person I'm next to that wasn't a fart, or do I just kind of let it go?
Okay.
Yeah. Relatable.
So Kalie, he's gonna run his finger from right to left.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You're gonna do right to left, and tell us when to stop.
So for all you listening, I am running
Right
my
to
finger
left.
slowly
Stop
right to- and we stopped.
He's gonna pick a card and he's gonna read it.
So,
Oh god.
wow. All right. So this is really more of an abstract question. How many chickens do you think it would take to kill an elephant?
Trick question.
He's reading it because he thinks I made that up out of nowhere.
How big are
How
the
many
chickens?
This
Yeah.
is real.
Yeah.
This is real.
Yeah. You thought I was just like, oh, this will be funny. Like,
Yeah.
That's what you thought?
Sort of.
Elephants. How much does an elephant weigh?
A lot.
Is it a baby elephant or an
A
adult?
metric
Wait, to
ass
kill?
ton.
You know, I'm gonna say
kill.
one.
One chicken to kill an elephant?
Yeah, it's gotta
What's
climb up
funny
its
is there's no
ass.
answer on there. So I'm honestly, I'm going to consult the Google machine right now because it didn't give an
How
answer.
Much does an elephant weigh? No. Okay.
So,
elephant
fun
weighs
When I was in high
13,000 pounds. All right, I got it.
Okay.
Oh, you fucking bitch.
Holy
Let me
shit.
let me just finish this.
I have a real answer.
wait. Just wait.
I do too.
Okay. So the premise to the business that my partner and I came up with, this whole like economics thing, was genetically engineered cocks.
I like the way you said that.
So what we did was we took the adrenal glands of chickens and we ground them up and we fed them to other chickens and they would grow into other chickens. Like
Forced
that would be like-
cannibalism?
they weren't real. We dressed up our friend in a chicken suit to eat the fake chicken, and he
I
had
just
a
thought you were
chicken
trying to force
beak on.
cannibalism.
Yeah, a little bit, but
Okay,
more
I got
of
an
a,
answer.
like, person.
All right. Kelly has an answer to how many chickens.
6,842 chickens.
Wow. I got a totally different answer.
Ooh.
What is your, is there a description on your answer? Or what did you type in?
I just did the heaviest elephant, 13,000 pounds, divided by the heaviest chicken, 1.9 pounds, which gives me 6,842 chickens.
So you're gauging by like they have to be an
Weight.
equal amount of weight to kill one.
Yes.
Okay. I just Googled how many chickens does it take to kill an elephant. It says a male elephant is about 6,000 kilograms, while the roosters of the golden cornet chicken average about 2.72 kilograms. So if we divide 6,000 by 2.72, we get about 2,206 roosters for a draw. By this logic, it would take 2,207 chicken to kill the elephant.
So
if you took
mine
a few
was
of those
I
chickens-
took the same logic.
Right?
That's so funny. What are the odds of that?
Okay, so if you took a few of those chickens and fed them other chickens' adrenal glands, imagine how many less chickens it would take to kill that elephant.
Well, if we genetically modify one chicken
Right.
to be the size of an elephant,
Right, and crossbreed it with a wild cat.
then likely
That's
it
what
would
I'm
take one
saying.
singular chicken to kill that elephant.
Funny you should say one, because underneath my answer has the second option of People also ask, how many chickens does it take to kill a lion? To which the answer is just one chicken if the lion tries to swallow it whole and it gets stuck in its throat. So fascinating.
That's it?
Fascinating.
That's it. That's that.
So that is the answer to Poddex. Now, if you want to ask your family or friends, or if you're a podcaster and you want to figure out some questions like that to ask your guests,
the burning question.
Go to poddex.com. You can use the promo code BACON
because everything's better with bacon
and get 10% off of your entire order, which also includes cool swag. Speaking of swag, you can go to baconismypodcast.com and get some swag like these sweet t-shirts.
This is not perfect. I'm totally not professional, obviously.
No, but you're hashtag professional, which means everything. And I have a samurai on my shirt because why? What does samurais have to do with Bacon is My Podcast? Not a goddamn thing, but samurais are pretty sweet. So I put a silhouette on my shirt.
You guys play Ghost of Tsushima?
Oh, man, I love that game so much. I haven't beaten it yet. I think I'm at the end, but you know how you think you're at the end and then you do something and then it's like,
the game does that a lot. Yeah.
It's done it to me twice now, so I'm like, okay.
That game's in my top 10 for sure.
Oh, it's so good.
Ooh, I just thought of another one of my favorite games, but it's more like a series. Uncharted.
Uncharted's so good. Oh my god.
I've never
played
played them. Never played them. Didn't even know what they were. And at the beginning of quarantine, PlayStation was giving away the collection, 1 to 4. I ended up buying 5. I played the first one. I was like, fuck, that was really good. Played the second one. I was like, fuck, that was also really good. And I literally got through all of them. And by the fourth one, I was like, I'm going to buy the last one. I'm buying it. Yeah. Holy shit. The pirate one.
Oh my God.
Oh, that was my favorite one.
Its storyline and its puzzles and its action and it's so good.
I have 4.
It has that it has that Tomb Raider thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I did the same thing you did where I didn't get into it until I think 4 is when I got the first one. And then I played 4 and I was like, oh man, I'm going back and playing all of these and then played through them all.
Yeah, that's what I did with Fallout.
All right. So we've been talking now for like 2.5 hours. Honestly, I can't thank you enough for hanging out this long with us and giving us this much of your time.
Thank you.
It's been super fun. This has been awesome.
Yeah, this was great. This was really fun. I had a really good time. Thanks for having me.
So you gotta tell our fans where do they find you? Where do they find the band?
Yeah. So my name's Kalie Wolfe.
Or
I'm just kidding.
Bravo.
Just kidding.
Bravo.
Got him.
I'll take his hat off to you.
You can find all of our socials. We are RVLS, Instagram, TikTok. Yeah, that's it. No, I'm just kidding. Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Yeah, come find us. We just put a new record out called That Looks Pretty on Me. It's pretty cool. And we like food.
It's very cool. We didn't talk about it nearly enough in this interview.
Yeah, but the record is fucking awesome.
Yeah, the record is.
I can't endorse it enough because I was really looking forward to it when you guys put out Supernova and Thunderstorms. I was like, oh man, this is what's happening next, and this is great. And then you put out the new record, and I feel like the other two were definitely an extension of the Damn Soul era stuff. The new stuff is just a really cool evolution of the band, like from the beginning as a, almost like a scene band to what you guys are doing now, which is legit, like you guys say, dark pop music.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the progression of the band is actually really, really, really cool when you listen to the music. And you kind of like follow it through. Everything fits with everything else, but you definitely see the progression. And this is one of those bands that manages to incorporate so many different styles and flavors without ever sounding like they're ripping off anything.
Yeah.
And it sounds like them entirely. And so I cannot recommend it enough. Lyrically, it hits you. It hits me anyway. They're
sorry,
almost...
let me get down. Hold on, I just gotta get down off this horse. Sorry. It's
Yeah.
super cool. It is really cool feeling. It's really cool that people care and like the record. That's like everything we hoped for.
Yeah, that's I mean, that's what you want. That's all
We
you
spent
want.
a long time on this record. We spent 2 whole years writing it, and then a year sitting on it while COVID just fisted us. So that was really descriptive.
You guys are a band that
know.
works your ass off. You guys are a band that works your ass off. That's fucking awesome. So people need to check it out. If you haven't checked it out, you got to check it out.
Well, listen to Sad Looks Pretty on Me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely do.
Now.
Absolutely do. So Mike, where can they find you?
I am me, my own self, Mike, on all of the social media platforms. My band, Something Heavy. Kalie did some awesome.
I really thought you were doing it on purpose at that point.
I thought so too. Kalie, I can understand. Kylie, don't get it.
I suck.
You know what? Now I don't feel bad for forgetting your band.
You know what?
It's like the 4th time.
Fucking amazing.
You're right.
The 4th time.
I'm not. So so my band is Something Heavy at Something Heavy Music all over the place.
I'm on Instagram and Twitter, Jimmy G's Shoes. My band is Craving Strange. We are Craving Strange Music pretty much everywhere. Mike and I are Bacon is My Passion. You can find all our music on Spotify, Apple Music, all that kind of stuff. If you are listening to this, Bacon is My Podcast on Apple Music, give us that 5-star review because that will help with the algorithms, which we all know suck.
Yes.
Leave your comments down underneath if you are watching on Strangerhood TV. And if you are on an Android, you can find us on Spotify and I think iHeartRadio too, and the Google and all that kind of good stuff. BaconsMyPodcast.com if you want some of this sweet swag that you can see if you're watching on Strangerhood TV and you can hear about if you're not. Thank you again, Kalie.
Thank you for getting my name right.
Can't just spell it right. You got to say it right. From Rivals, thank you so much for spending your time with us. We really do appreciate it. Thank you for eating in front of us. Thank you for introducing us to your dog. That was also
that food porn.
All kinds of fun tonight. This has been awesome. It really has.
Yes,
thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.